Hello everyone, my name is Dan the Tutor. This is a clip from one of my weekly group tutoring sessions at the University of Delaware for Math 221. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Thank you and enjoy.
Okay, and now I do want to, we have 15 minutes left. I'm going to probably not go all the way to 9:30 because I've pretty much said everything I've wanted to, except for one more thing, and that's curve sketching of exponential functions. In other words, I want to identify what the exponential or the logarithmic function looks like. Because there's four possible functions we can have here. We have y equals e to the x, y equals negative e to the x, y equals e to the negative x, and y equals negative e to the negative x. Four different scenarios, four different graphs. Let's quick sketch all of these real quick. Y equals e to the x, hopefully you know what that one looks like. This one, I'm going to draw it in blue, looks like this. If you know the base, the parent function, and there's a horizontal asymptote in all of these functions because e to the x has a horizontal asymptote. Y equals e to the x is our parent function. We're going to base the rest of these on this. Here's the next one. Y equals negative e to the x power. So again, I have a horizontal asymptote here. I want you guys to think about this for a second. Take like 30 seconds. Think about this. I want you to draw it on your paper. I don't care if you're wrong. I will make fun of you. Yes, I will. But I can't see you, so it's kind of hard for me to make fun of you. But I'm assuming half of you will make the mistake, so don't worry. I've got you covered. So go ahead, give it a try. Sketch it. Okay, that felt like 30 seconds. Or at least, I think if you didn't get it by now, you're hopeless. Sorry. But negative e to the x is literally a flip along the x-axis. Like, if all of my positive points became negative, in other words, this is what negative e to the x looks like. If you didn't know that or you're struggling to memorize it, my advice to you is just try and memorize it. Don't try and think it through logically if it doesn't make sense to you. Just memorize it. Okay, now the next one. Oh, sorry, I forgot to make... So for those of you who got that wrong, you're dumb and you have no hope in calculus. There, I properly made fun of you. You're welcome. Now the next one. Y equals e to the negative x. Again, horizontal asymptote here. And now I need to draw this one. Go ahead, give this one a shot. I'll give you 15 seconds on this one. I am not using a timer. So the function y equals, time's up. So the function y equals e to the negative x is a flip along the y-axis, which means it's going to look like this. And by the way, even though it's y equals e to the negative x, remember that function is really just 1 divided by e to the x. Question, when is this ever negative? The answer is never. You can plug in any value for x. E to the x is always positive. It's always positive. You're not going to get a negative answer anywhere, so the function is always above the x-axis. It's always positive. And now for the last one. It's the only one we haven't drawn yet, so hopefully you can figure it out, even if you got the other two wrong. Let's see how bad you can mess this up. I'll give you 7.5 seconds. Okay, time's up. So this one's going to be both a flip along the x-axis and the y-axis. It's going to look like that. Okay, so again, I would recommend just memorizing these. It's honestly, it's not that bad. It's just 4 little things, but easy points on the test. Any questions? Okay, and now the last one I want to look at is same thing but with natural log. And this time I'm actually going to ask it slightly differently. This time I'm going to give you the graph and you're going to tell me what the function is. Ooh, this is fun. So this time I'm going to give you vertical asymptote and the function looks like this. Which function is this? Actually, I'm going to tell you this is the parent function. This is y equals natural log of x. Some of you probably knew this already and I'm sorry I had to take your thunder, but I'm smarter than you, so it doesn't matter. Yes, I have a inferiority complex, in case you're wondering. So y equals natural log of x. This is that function. Now here's the next one. It looks like this. And there's a vertical asymptote right here. So it's either your answer choices. I'll give you the answer choices. It's natural log of negative x, negative natural log of x, or negative natural log of negative x. Which one is it? Okay, so for this one, notice it flipped along the y-axis, which means this is going to be y equals natural log of negative x. Hopefully, I mean, I can't give a better explanation than that because a lot of this is kind of just memorization, knowing where the negative goes and what that means on the graph. But does anyone have any questions on that one?
Can you just explain the like what ones flip on the horizontal and what ones flip
Got it. Okay,
one more time?
so this is going to be I'm going to say a horrible explanation, but actually it's not that bad. But it's the opposite of what you'd expect. It's the opposite of what you'd expect. So I said this is a flip along the y-axis. Does everyone agree with that? Person who just asked that question, do you agree that this is a flip along the y-axis?
Yeah.
Okay, if I flip along the y-axis, it's the opposite of what you expect. It means wherever I see x, I replace it with a negative x. I replace the x, in other words. I don't replace the y. Now I'm going to scroll back up real quick to the e to the x example, like this one right here. This one I said was an x-axis flip. We see that here's the x-axis right here, and it flipped along the x-axis. So because I flipped the x, I'm flipping the y value. And whenever I say flip the y value, it means I'm putting a negative sign at the very end or the very beginning. Notice it's not touching the x. I did not put a negative sign in front of the x. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you flip across the y-axis when you change the x value.
Yep.
And then flip across the y-axis when you change the x.
Yes. And again, it's confusing. I know it's confusing. I would honestly just recommend memorizing it. Here's the next one. Remember what we said about the y-axis and the x-axis flip. If I flip along the x, I'm changing... you remember boys. If I flip along the x-axis, then it's going to be a change in the y value. If I flip along the y-axis, is a change in the x value. Having said that, let's see if you can get this one. It's this function right here. And again, the parent is right above it. So what's it going to be? Go ahead and give it a shot. This is going to be both. It's a flip along the x and the y-axis. So it's y equals negative natural log of negative x. And then I'm going to tell you the last one. We already know it. It's the only one left. It's negative natural log of positive x. Go ahead and see if you can draw this one as the last one. Notice we know it's a negative sign here out in front of the y value. So it should be an x-axis flip. Let's see if you can draw an x-axis flip correctly. And if not, it's the last shape we haven't drew yet. So, okay, time's up. It is going to look like that. Okay? Any questions on that? Any questions? Because if not, I think I'm going to end it here today.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want me to start doing free weekly group sessions at your university, please post in the comments below or email me at dan@danthetutor.com. Thanks everyone. Bye-bye.